Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a quick video and go through a practical example of what the profit taking model can do. So we've already gone through all the settings in a previous video. James has made other videos as well on the settings. And so this is going to be more of a look on how to use it and a specific example of where you would be up 50% in profit in just a few months. So in this case, I want to use Tesla as the example. For my settings here, I have trading style as aggressive, trend bias is neutral. And then the only other difference here is going to be the initial shares and cost basis when we go through the example. And then the exit aggression I have on high because if I'm looking to do a shorter term trade, I'm going to have it on high so I can make more profit short term. So I'm going to be flipping between a Google Sheet with some numbers and the chart. So I hope that's not too distracting. But in this case, I have the anchor set back here. We had a consolidation period for quite a while. I mean, you can see how far back this goes as well. Anywhere in here would have been a great time to buy. So let's just say you were late-ish to the party and you got in somewhere in this zone at layer 0. So for this example, we're going to use 172 as our cost basis. So let's change this to 172. And then flipping to our Google Sheet, the example here is you're starting at $1,000. So I can see my initial entry is going to be 5.8 shares at $172. So you'll have 5.8 shares, right? So 1,000 divided by my price will be 5.81. Okay, and then you would have let that sit, and your first exit point, let's make sure we got the shares right. 5.81 shares here. So your first exit here would have been on layer 6 at 213. So at layer 6, we exited with 1.6 shares. And then you can see that we went up to layer 7 as well for 238. So going back to the sheet, I have a sell at 213 and at 238, my two layers. And then the 1.6 and 2.5 shares. So at the end of this sequence, I guess, you would still have 1.6 shares remaining and you almost have your cost basis back, right? So you would have between the two cells, you would have $961 in cash, and you would still own 1.6 shares of Tesla, okay? So going back into the chart, we never made it to layer 7. So in this instance, we wouldn't have taken any profits off. And so we went all the way back down to layer 1, and you can see almost a perfect bounce off of layer 1 here. And then I have a re-entry at this point. I'm looking to buy again, right? We just ran all the way up to 270. We're back down below 200. I'm looking to buy and add back to my position. Use those profits that I made to buy more shares. So let's say I got in conservatively, let's just say at layer 3. So 192. Back into the chart, we have a buy at 192 with our $961. So we were able to buy 5 shares with our 961. So that brings our total shares up at this point. We're sitting on 6.6 shares. Okay, you can see the sum down here. 6.6 shares. So what I'm going to do now is go back to the chart and I'm going to adjust my initial shares to 6.6. And then my cost basis, and this isn't even true, right? But I'm going to put my cost basis at 192. I bought 5 shares at 192, but you still have 1.6 shares at 172. So that cost basis isn't even right. But let's just sandbag it. We got 5 shares at 192. So let's keep it at 192. All right. All right. We ran back up to our layer 6 here. Right, so we would have taken off 2.07 shares, and then we hit layer 7 again. And again, we did not hit layer 8. We almost did. But let's just assume you didn't take any profits, only at layer 6 and 7. Okay, so we've got 1.1 at layer 7 and 2 at layer 6. Okay, so by the end of this sequence now, you have 3.3 shares still, right? So you would have your new 5 shares. You would sell based on the model. And then you don't forget to add back in your 1.6 shares earlier. So you've got 3.3 shares, and then the cash proceeds from your sell here, 723. Okay, and then let's sandbag. Let's say you took at layer 7, let's just use the price of 238. So 238. So what I'm going to do now is I have 3.3 shares at $238. And then now I'm going to add whatever my shares are worth plus my cash basis, right? So you now have $1,500. So in a matter of just a few months, let's see how long that time period is. This run up to here, to this sell on 7. Let's go to here. June to October, you would have made 50%. And that's not even, first of all, your cost basis is wrong. Second, that's considering you didn't sell anything because you didn't hit layer 8. But if you were to take profits up here, or if you would have nailed your entry a little bit better, right? There's a lot of factors that could have played into this where you would have made more money. But I feel that this was really conservative and we're still up 50%, right? So you can repeat the process now, right? If we go back down to another layer or a lower layer, then you would add back in and this process just keeps rolling. Again, this doesn't even include options either, right? If you were playing options, you would be up much more than 50%. So anyways, I hope that made sense and was useful. I think the profit-taking model is extremely powerful, and if you just follow it, don't go off on your own, but follow it, you can make a lot of money. So anyways, thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.